This Thursday, the 19th of September 2024, the people of Buea are being convened by Peter Mafani Musonge along with David Mafani Namange to go into stupidity. I say absolute stupidity. I'm taking this occasion already to remind the people of Buea that we are still in lockdown and that anybody finding themselves outside at any odd moment, you are going to put yourself in a head-on collision with death. Please, you have at all given moments to pay attention to your safety. Prioritize your life. Prioritize your safety. Prioritize the safety of your children. Prioritize the safety of your spouse, of your loved ones. Better than the 5,000, the 1,000, the 2,000 that Peter Mafani Musonge and the blood-sucking regime in Yaoundé are coming with to dish out in Buea tomorrow. They know the context in which we find ourselves. They don't care about what matters to you and to me. They care about what matters to them and the additional power, ever more power that they are seeking, and the favors they continue to want to curry from Mr. Paul Biya. That is what matters to them. Elsewhere in the globe, we see people who call themselves elite, who are fortunate, who are being blessed, come back to look at the pains that the people are going through and pay attention on trying to help alleviate the pain from the people and help bring the people along so they could graduate from poverty and misery. Rather, we have a bunch of people here, the Mbelamokis, the Peter Mafani Musonges, the David Mafani Namange, the Ebakos, all of these people, the Muketes, all of them, the Fotabe Tandos, the Atanga Ponjis, all of them, all what they're interested in is their personal interest, even at the cost of our own lives, even at the cost of our well-being. They don't care. Take a look at this. You see, this mail is dated the 9th of September and it was written by Peter Mafani Musonge. Hear what is more important to Peter Mafani Musonge. Hear the terms he uses. He says, it is Buea 9th of September 2024. The head of the Southwest Permanent Regional Delegation of the Central Committee of the CPDM to the heads of the Permanent Divisional Delegations of CPDM, Central Committee, Fako, Kupemwanenguba, the BLM, Manyumeme, and Dian. And he says, subject, projection of the documentary film titled Paul Biya, a great statesman with a prodigious destiny. Hear that? The projection of a documentary movie entitled Paul Biya, a great statesman with a prodigious destiny. They're talking like this about the same man who has ruined the lives of millions, the same man who has brought the death machine into Ambazonia, the same man who has sent his thugs to come. They are raping our sisters, raping our women. They are crossing everybody on our land at will, looting from our people, promoting misery, hardship, and dehumanization into our land. But this is what is very important for Peter Mafani Musonge. And he says, I have the honor to bring to your knowledge that the CPDM militants of the Southwest region have been invited by the organizers to the public projection of the documentary film titled Paul Biya, a great statesman with a prodigious destiny, scheduled to take place on Thursday, 19 September 2024 as from 1 p.m. in the Moliko Omnisport Stadium. It doesn't end there. He says, in order to make sure that this event, whose stakes for the Southwest region are very high. Wait a minute, please. Could you hear that? This event, whose stakes for the Southwest region are very high. That's a projection of a documentary film saying Paul Biya is a great statesman with a prodigious destiny. That's someone who is in the past. Because at 92, Paul Biya's future is in the past. They're still talking about destiny. At 92 or 93, Paul Biya is a relic. He's supposed to be standing right now in a museum, just as you see right ahead. If you are just tuning into this show, don't move, because the best is still to come. This is really an embarrassment. That for Peter Mafani Musonge, he believes that the stakes for the Southwest watching this thing are too high. And he says, It says, in order to make sure that this event, whose stakes for the Southwest region are very high, is successful, a generous contribution of 1,500,000, that's 1.5 million CFA francs from each division, and 1 million CFA francs from the permanent regional delegation of the Central Committee should be sent to Chief Nasako Fitzgerald. Did you hear that? He says generous donation, generous, but he's fixing the amount. Generous donation, but he says your donation is generous, but it has to be 1.5 million from each division. So they have to go and tax people who don't have roads. If you are doubting, please, don't be vexed with me. These are people of Ekondo Titi. These are people. This is how they are struggling to move in Ekondo Titi. But the people of Ekondo Titi should collect 1.5 million CFA and give to Peter Mafani Musonge or to give to Nasako Fitzgerald, so that they should put together this money to go and project a documentary film saying that Paul Biya is a great statesman with a prodigious destiny. These are the people of Ekondo Titi. This is the kind of road that they are moving on. See how the people can't even circulate. But this doesn't matter to Peter Mafani Musonge. This doesn't constitute any stakes at all to Peter Mafani or Peter Malfini Musonge. No. What matters is contribute money for the projection of that film. What an embarrassment. He says, send that money to Chief Nasako Fitzgerald, telephone number 677-745377. That's Chief Nasako Fitzgerald. If you are in the diaspora, take note of this number. Call this number. Ask Nasako Fitzgerald what he has done to this pair of to these young girls. Let me get to these young girls. You should ask Fitzgerald Nasako. Listen to the story of these young girls. Ask Fitzgerald Nasako. I said the phone number is, if you want to dial, you are calling from abroad, +237 677 745 377. Again, +237 677 745 377. If you want to take just the number, then you put the international code ahead. 677 745 377. That is Fitzgerald Nasako. Reach out to him. Listen to these two young girls. Ask him what he has done for them.
And I'm a Backwarian. Since that incident, since the day of the incident, Mr. Enga has been threatening me, he has been calling my phone, he has been calling me that because I told him that I'm going to report this matter. He said if I mention that it's 1 second for him to kill me, that he's going to end my life. And since I'm not working freely, like I'm scared of my life because I don't know the next step that he can do. He told me that he's a general in Central Police there, that if he wants to frame me up, it's 1 second for me. Since that day, I've been really traumatized, and he's only calling me and be threatening me that he's going to kill me. If I don't sleep with him again, that he will kill me. That if he does not sleep with I and my friend, that he's going to kill us. This is my friend, her name is Yolan.
Yeah, my name is Buea. I'm a Backwarian from Buea, a school at JHS Buea Roram. I'm the victim of the incident I was caught on Sunday, in which I used Mr. Ayenga's phone to call my friend to bring my birth certificate because I'm still 16. I don't have an ID card. I called her using his phone. Meanwhile, the man directly told me, Mr. Ayenga told me in his office that if I sleep with him, he's going to release me at the moment. I told him that no, I cannot, that is going to be traumatized. The man said, okay, I should go back to. They said I'm going to work inside them. And when not knowing that he has taken his phone and called my friend, telling her that they should meet up at checkpoint, in which they did without me knowing. It's just now that I found out, as she earlier said, after he slept with her, telling her that if she says anything, he's going to kill her. Also telling me that if he does not sleep with me, I'm not going to be released. In which I cried that day in the station until one other chef came and released me.
So, you hear this pathetic story. You hear this very pathetic story. It is happening in Buea. It happened in Buea. Did we hear anything? From Peter Mafani Musonge? Not one word. Did we hear piam From David Mafani Namange, not one word. But this is when you hear from them. Look at this. This is another mail. The section president, CPDM Fako 3 Buea, to the section presidents of whatever. Invitation. The section president of CPDM Fako 3, Comrade David Mafani Namange ESQ, invites militants of the CPDM, WCPDM, and YCPDM to massively attend the public projection of the documentary film Paul Biya, A Great Statesman with a Prodigious Destiny. Date September 19, 2024. Moliko Omnisport Stadium, 11 a.m. Let me tell you folks, by the time you carry your coconut head, sorry for the insult, because if you are going there, then your head is coconut. That's what I mean. To go to this place, listen, ask yourself 1 million questions. Do I have a family? Do I have children? Do I have parents? Do I have siblings? Do I have people who love and care about me? Because you don't know what can happen. You are in a war zone. I've said here 1,001 times, my concern is the safety of the civilian population. For Peter Mafani Musonge, Bella Moki Charles, whether it's Mafini or whatever, David Namange, Ebako, all of them, including this Tabetando, all of these, Afranganji, Fu Jonathan, all of these people, what interests them is their personal aggrandizement within the Buea system. They don't care about your safety. All these things that the vehicle here, they are going to call you because they have made you totally poor and miserable to the point where you can't help yourself. They are sure that when they dangle you 1,000, 2,000, you will forget about the fact that something can happen to you. You will forget about the fact that you are putting your lives at risk. You will forget about the fact that you are going out there to fight against your own very destiny. You forget about the fact that you are going out there, to glorify somebody who has rendered you what you are, and who by day and by night is torturing you, is dehumanizing you, is making you come across as half of a human being. That is what it is. When I say here sometimes that La République du Cameroun enforces poverty as a public policy, people think I'm joking. And this is extended into the southern Cameroons by people like Peter Mafani Musonge and others. This is what it is. They don't care about your lives. We complained about this to Mr. Lukom in Jakiri. He went out there in false bravado to go and march. By the time they finished marching, those who knew what was at stake and had their protection took off immediately, heavily escorted. And what happened to poor Lukom? Days after, we found his lifeless body. It pained me and it still pains me. That is a southern Cameroonian. When I read the eulogy from Kikishi Lawrence of CRTV regarding this gentleman, I couldn't hold back my tears. But that was false bravado. Because they deceive you, they brainwash you, they make you feel that you'll be protected. There'll be video projections. They'll show your faces. I don't want to lose any one of you. Stay in your house. Allow them to use trucks and cut people from La République du Cameroun to bring them. And cut those that they will buy from La République du Cameroun to bring them. At least they will protect them. And protect them until they take them back. Paul Biya has only been a curse to southern Cameroonians. Never a blessing. I don't know what prodigious destiny they are talking about. And when you want to talk, this is what Bella Moki Charles will say.
Someone's knee is on the neck of Southwesterners. And this is the moment we should get out of what it is. We are being called to keep quiet and not to tell the truth.
Bella Moki, start speaking the truth. Because it is only that truth that will set you free. Because while Musonge is saying the stakes for the Southwest are too high, we did not hear him say one word when this happened.
Happening now at Sandpit. I don't have voice again. The thing is understatement. The flood at Sandpit is understatement. Oh, look at how the water is entering into people's houses. Oh, God help us in Cameroon. On a ghost town like like this on Wednesday. Oh, look at vehicles, they cannot pass. It's risky for them, there is really no way. You just have to turn back. Oh, heavy floods at Sandpit this morning, Wednesday, happening now in front of Cité Adalof. Oh, you can see my Cité. Oh, God, help me, help me, help me, help me. Oh, happening now in Cité Adalof. Happening now in Cité Adalof. Oh, God, help me. Help me, God. Look at it is entering into people's houses. Happening now at Sandpit. Woo! Happening now at Sandpit. I don't have voice again. The thing is understatement.
My people, don't get me wrong. Floods are happening everywhere else in the world. But the impact is minimal in places where there is careful town planning. You see the disorder in our towns and cities? Go back to the school books of old, in the days of West Cameroon. You see people gave their addresses with house number. They will say number 25, Nambeke Street, Victoria, Fako. Yes, number 13, Nambeke Street, Victoria, Fako, Southern Cameroons. Today, no. Is any house in that place number? The total disorder and total disorganization. Sometimes you have to pass through some people's living room to get to your own house. Oh, in Douala, in La République Cameroon, it is even horrible. That's what they imported into our land, or that's what they exported into our land. Absolute urban disorder. These floods that are causing serious pain onto the people is totally avoidable. But even if they come, they can be carefully managed when there's thorough town planning and there's a good and well-functional drainage system. The effect will be minimal. Floods are happening in other parts of the world, but we don't see the effect as it is here. Because our people generally end up being totally helpless. They are on their own. Peter Mafani Musonge, Bella Mokichas, and all of those people, all they are caring about is how to worship God there evermore, so that in exchange, they can continue to be given sinecure position. Underline the word sinecure. If you know what it is, let me spell it. Pick up your phone, run to Uncle Google. Sinecure. S-I-N-E-C-U-R-E. Sinecure positions. Look it up. Because that's what they are. They are empty. They have no power. You see how you have somebody that calls himself Prime Minister John Gute, how he is ridiculed by day and by night. Even the French media in La République du Cameroun. By day and by night. But they auction our people's lives in exchange for those sinecure positions. Look at this. Why the people went through this pain? I did not hear Peter Mafani Musonge raise the small finger. I did not hear Bella Mokicha say, I'm going to meet the people to comfort them because of this pain. At least, Atangana Ponji went to the far north, where floods also happened, and gave 1,750 francs, or he sent 1,750 francs to each flood victim. That is less than $3. I mean, less than $3. That's what they gave them to alleviate their pain from floods that swept everything, took away all their property, shattered their homes and everything, shattered their lives. The government of Cameroon went out and gave them less than $3 each to alleviate their pain. But at least they went. But in the case of Buea, no. Rather, this is what the mayor is offering them. The mayor of Buea Council and his team are currently moving around and sealing businesses in Buea because they are respecting civil disobedience, because the people are protesting and fighting for their rights. That is all they have on offer. That is all they can give to the people. Shy of this, they need to catch the people like sheep, gather them to the Moliko Omnisport Stadium, and say, sit down and so we'll take videos and show huge numbers of you who came to watch Paul Biya. That's when they don't gather young, hungry people and give them 2,000 francs with bread and sardine and a bottle of beer to wash off their brains, and ask them to go and stand on the streets and say they want Paul Biya to be their president again. My people, it is not only shameful, it's not only embarrassing, but it is disgusting. And come to think of it, this is that poor Buea that they are talking about watching.
Voilà, c'est pas qui arrive là maintenant. C'est un autre président. Voilà. Ouh, voilà l'autre paté, voilà l'autre paté. Yeah. La démarche Maniakama Bobé. Voilà le paté. On va le reprendre encore. On va recommencer le paté. Voilà, après le président Tshisekedi, nous allons avoir maintenant l'arrivée de notre père qui va arriver. Le président attend le président du Cameroun. Voilà.
Look at poor Buea. See the way he's moving. He can't even move straight. Look at a shadow of himself. He wants to be president again. This is the man because of whom Peter Mafani Musonge, because of whom David Mafani Namange, because of whom Belamoki Charles, because of whom John Gute, because of whom Fontabetando, because of whom Chief Mukete Ebako, because of whom all of these people are gathering our brothers, sisters to go to the Moliko Omni Stadium to expose their life to danger. This is it, where they can be caught in the crossfire at any time because of this nonagenarian who can't even help himself. If you thought you have seen enough, wait until you watch this other one.
What the minute?
Just look at the man moving there like a ngaput, a real ngaput. This is a great grandfather who ought to go look for a place and sit. He can't. But because of him, they are sending people out in the streets in the southern Cameroons to go and die. And people will go out there, put their lives in harm's way because of 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 to go and say Paul Buea to do shogun. That is your ngaput of a shogun here. Look at that's your ngaput of a shogun here. Perhaps you are just joining. Let me take you back to this dark movement, dark foul, to this dark movement again.
Commencer le paté. Voilà, après le président Tshisekedi, nous allons avoir maintenant l'arrivée de notre père qui va arriver. Le président attend le président du Cameroun. Voilà le paté qui arrive dans sa démarche Maniakama Bobé. Yeah.
Shameful, embarrassing, disgusting, to say the least. Just look at it. Enjoy the soundbite.
What the minute?
So disgusting. So painful to watch. It's a shame, but that is what it is. My dear people of Amazonia, I'd like to thank all of you who devoted time to be part of this show. Share the link as much as you can, so that many more Amazonians will be part of this discussion. And most especially, don't forget to make arrangements to find yourself in New York on Friday for that very important demonstration out there. And if you are anywhere in Europe, make sure not to forget the rendezvous in Rome on the 27th and 28th for that conference, which is also a fundraiser that I talked about at the beginning of this show. And then for those of you who have the means to help, please rush quickly to amberrelief2018@gmail.com. Use either Zelle or PayPal and make a contribution for us to help our people who are facing multiple challenges in the dungeons of La République du Cameroon and here and there. I want to thank all of you for taking the pain to be part of this broadcast, or for taking the time to be part of this broadcast. So go ahead, share the link as much as you can, and let our people be part of it. I'll be right back here sometime soon for us to continue our education campaign. To God be the glory. Thank you so much for watching.